All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about something pretty wild. A totally new way to take that brilliant app idea you've got floating around in your head and make it real. And yeah, without you having to write a single line of code. So how on earth does that work? Let's find out. You know the feeling, right? It's the classic problem. You've got this amazing idea. You see the solution so clearly in your mind, but then you hit the wall of actually building it. It just feels impossible. Well, you are definitely not alone. And that huge barrier to entry, it might be about to come crashing down.
Because let's be real, in our heads, the dream is always this clean, simple blueprint. But the reality? Oh man, it's always been this massive, complex tangle of code and databases and servers. It's just a lot. But what if you could just hand that blueprint off to someone or something else?
Okay, to really get what's happening here, let's think about it like this. You're building a house. You're the architect. You've got the vision, the big picture. Now, up until now, AI has just been giving you a better set of tools, but something totally new is here.
So, the AI tools we've had up until now, they were basically a really smart toolbox. They could suggest the right piece of code, kind of like a power drill, or find a bug for you, like a level. But you still had to do all the work. You had to put every single piece together one by one.
But this new model, which is being powered by Google's anti-gravity agent, is a whole different beast. It's not just a tool in your toolbox, it's your general contractor. You just give it the blueprint and it takes over. It actually understands the whole plan and manages the entire build for you.
So how does this AI contractor actually build the house? It's not just about writing code in a vacuum. It's about managing a whole complex project from start to finish. Let's break down how it actually works.
First up, you just hand over the blueprint, you describe your idea in plain English, the AI then looks at it and creates a whole construction plan, breaking your big idea down into smaller steps. Then it starts building, and this is key, it doesn't just stay in one place, it even brings in specialists when it needs them. And then, finally, it shows you the finished app for you to check out.
And this, right here, is what makes it so different. A normal AI assistant is stuck in the workshop, the code editor. But this agent, it can move all over the job site. You can use the heavy machinery, the terminal, to set things up. And it can go to the browser to look up information or check its own work. It's a true project manager. And get this, it even knows when to call in the specialists. So let's say your app needs a database for storage or a login system for users. That's basically the plumbing and the electrical wiring of your app. Well, the agent sees that. And with your OK, it automatically sets up services like Firebase to handle all of that. It hires the pros so you don't have to.
Okay. This all sounds amazing in theory, but what does it actually mean for you? What kind of real, functional houses can this AI contractor build for, say, a small business or a startup founder?
Well, for starters, how about a client portal? If you run a service business, just imagine telling the AI, hey, build me a website where my clients can log in, check on their project status, and upload files. Something that would have taken weeks of work can now be roughed out in minutes. It's wild.
Or hey, what about tools just for your own team? An internal dashboard for tracking inventory, or maybe managing customer orders, or even just seeing who's working on what. Instead of messing with clunky spreadsheets, you can have a custom tool built just for you.
And listen, for all you entrepreneurs out there, this is an absolute game changer. You can now build a real, functional prototype of your next big software idea, what we call an MVP. We're talking a real product with user accounts and a database that you can get in front of actual users to see if your idea is a hit, all without a massive upfront investment.
Okay, so this sounds almost too good to be true, right? And it's incredibly powerful, for sure. But that brings up a really important question about your role in all this. Because remember, you're still the architect.
So does this mean you could just hand over the blueprint, hit a button and, go on vacation and come back to a perfect finished app? And look, the short answer is nope, not quite. This is a collaboration, not a magic trick. Here's the thing, your job as the architect is actually more critical than ever. You have to be the one to approve the final plans, you have to do the final inspection, especially for huge things like security and making sure customer data is handled properly. You are still responsible for thinking about all the little details and the long-term health of the project.
There's a quote that just nails this idea perfectly. This isn't just about AI making a pretty demo anymore. This is a massive step up. But, and it's a big but, it does not and should not remove the need for real human product thinking, security review, and that final crucial oversight.
And really, that's the big shift we're talking about here.
We're moving from a world where AI just helps us write code line by line to a whole new world where we can actually delegate entire, complex software jobs to an AI agent. It's the difference between being a carpenter and being the architect.
So that leaves us with this incredible, mind-bending question. When building an app becomes almost as easy as just describing what you want, what kinds of problems, big and small, are we finally going to be able to solve? What are you going to build first?